Have you recovered from the animal sex on the farm? Have you recovered from the shashlik party last night? I know you wanted to see much more of both, but I had to try and be a little discreet. And also, my friends and their neighbours aren't especially interested in my YouTube channel, and I'm sure they don't want to have me filming them eating, laughing, joking, having a few drinks and enjoying themselves because they want to relax. They work a long time, lots of hours. The last thing they need is some jerk showing up who doesn't even speak their language, sticking a camera in their face. So let's keep it between us, shall we? My friend took me on a little walk around the back, showing me the extent of the garden patch that they've got there, and I think it might be a nice idea to go and have a look, don't you? While I was standing there just now, I noticed the birds. The birds are trying to visit and bring food to the nest. And I'm being a pain in the ass by standing close to the nest. So they came in for a couple of attempts at bringing food, and then they had to fly off again before they finally did deliver some worms or whatever they're bringing for the chicks. Now we've seen the summer kitchen, which now has four walls. Now has 4 walls, that's good. The shashlik fire pit, the main house. In here, had a little look in here, and this is where the animals used to be kept. There were 4 sort of small enclosures for chickens, pigs, I suppose. And now my friends have sort of decided to use it as a general store, but also for all their pickled, canned goods. All the produce which grows on the land here, which they're able to preserve for those long winters. There's another cabin here with wood. There's wood in every cabin, I think, as well as in the pickling jar. And do you feel like, well, are you in need of a tinkle? Classic outdoor countryside garden toilet here. Let's not go in there, shall we? Cheeky chicken. Neighbourhood chickens popped in to say, got any grain? Got any grubs? Apparently they even eat fruit. They eat, well, raspberries. My friend was much disappointed that, I'm not saying you're to blame. I'm not saying you're to blame, Mr. Chicken. Yeah, he's running off. I think he is probably to blame. But one of the neighbourhood chickens got in and decided, oh, not tried raspberries before. So they helped themselves. And thoroughly enjoyed the raspberries, I think. This is the divide between the neighbours' gardens at the back. And more chickens. They've got a big pile of rotting something or other, some kind of compost heap there, which they might enjoy finding grubs in, I suppose. There might be some beetly things living under there. Plenty of flies flying around at the moment. And down here, well, whole manner of stuff growing. My friend didn't walk me down this side, so I'm just seeing things I didn't see before. Trying not to step onto the neighbour's land, but filming what they're growing. Leaves make me think rhubarb, but then there are these flower things growing. Looks like a hybrid of flower and rhubarb to me, but what would I know? What's this? Is it corn? Loads of things growing here. Potatoes. I've forgotten all the stuff that my friend said that they were growing on their land, never mind the neighbours. This is the boundary in theory. I'm not sure whose odd plant I've just stepped on. We come down here. Ooh. Ooh, nice bit of shade. You don't have to put up a wooden fence to mark your territory and to say, okay, this is my land. And the fact that they haven't means that the eye can look forever almost. It's like an infinity garden. The cows come down here, a street full of cows, and they operate what perhaps works in other villages as well, a rotation system. If you've got a cow, then you and your neighbours band together and take it in turns to have a day when you're responsible for taking the cows out and also responsible for bringing them back in again. So they go out to graze, I think it's 4 times. And last night the shashlik party was a little bit later than I'd anticipated. It didn't begin till 10 o'clock or later because people were milking those cows. The cows came in for the last time around 9 o'clock, and then they needed to be milked. And this was where, a wee while ago, you may have seen I was standing with my back to the sunflowers with my camera filming while people were trying to bring in the stray cow, because one cow had evaded the person responsible for looking after the group and bringing them all home, and she wasn't that inclined to come home. She was enjoying her freedom. Who can blame her? And we've got people collecting those sunflower heads and drying the seeds and creating sunflower oil here locally on the street. We've also got some walnut trees. I've never seen walnut trees before, and I would never have guessed that they were walnuts because they didn't look anything like walnuts. This is burdock. What a lovely vivacious colour when the flowers come out. I don't know about you, but as a kid I had a grandparent living in the Midlands, and very rarely did I visit to see her. However, my mother took me on 1 or 2 occasions, I think, that I can remember. Maybe there were others. One of the things that locally you could get in the shops, or I think the milkman would deliver it with the milk, you could order bottles of pop. Dandelion and burdock was one of the things you could get as an alternative to something like orangeade, lemonade. I suppose there was Coca-Cola, but I don't really remember it, honestly. Oh, we have a flutterby visiting. And the dandelion and burdock thing isn't something I saw anywhere else. I only lived for any length of time as an adult in the south of England. Maybe it's a Midlands drink which is still available in the supermarkets or in the corner shops. Maybe it's a northern thing. I really have no idea. But never saw it down on the south coast of Dorset, not in Tesco. What are these things? Not heather, but it's heather colour. My friends fled from Bucha, like many who managed to survive and didn't get shot when the Russians came in to try and kill everybody. Yeah, they got out, and many people have try to seek other places where they'll feel nobody's going to come and try and murder them. And so my friends have ended up here in the countryside, and you know I met that other couple, Gennady and Juliana from Kharkiv, when I was at the Kolomia bus station, but before that we had just by chance been in a few other places at the same time, including the place calling itself a hostel in Ivano-Frankivsk. They'd sought out shelter in the mountains, but they still felt home was really Kharkiv, but they were adapting to, I guess, mountain life. And here my friends are adapting to country life and gaining interest in things they never imagined they'd be doing. Here are some red currants, full of vitamin C, and if you got them growing here, why wouldn't you eat them? Why would you bother with supplements or fruit drinks which claim to be full of vitamins when you've got the real thing right here? Wherever you look, apples, apples, apples. Rather like in Poland, huge quantities of apples grow. Perfectly good apples. I remember talking to my friend Nick the Australian about he could become a cider baron, marry a Polish girl, become a cider baron, because it's a market just waiting to be tapped. Yes, they make a few ciders in Poland and in Ukraine, but considering the huge amount of apples that grow here, it really is, I think, an overlooked opportunity. But what do I know? Aha, we've got a few raspberries in this back garden. The ones the chicken ate were in the front garden. Perhaps this is why the chicken was sneaking around here. Just a few left. Astonishingly expensive, to my mind, because at the end of our road, up a hill, where I lived as a child for a portion of my life, you'd just find gooseberries, raspberries, black currants, just growing on the land. Kind of, not like this, but kind of like this. But when you see a small quantity of raspberries going for like €5 in a plastic carton in a supermarket in Estonia, for example, there's that gut instinct of, no, I'm not going to pay that price. Now I'm turning into a raspberry hog. Cock-a-doodle rooster. I think it's time for a cool drink of kvass. How about you? And I just remembered, I'm going to have a shower today. Yeah, after that long hike yesterday, got a bit sweatier than I expected. Got to find time to fit in a shower. It's all go on the farm though. Don't know about you, but I thought farm life meant getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning, maybe earlier, going to bed at 8 o'clock because you've got to get up early in the morning the next day. But village life here isn't quite like that. They're on a different time scale. Because, like I say, things like those cows, you can't go to bed before 10 o'clock at the earliest anyway of an evening. Watching closely. Oh, he nearly came in. Yep. The other one did. And off they go again. They're little black and white somethings. Here we go. Oh, he almost went in, but decided no. Okay, I'll get out of the way. I'm interrupting feeding time, which is clearly extensive.